Hi, fellow Toastmasters and guests. My name is Fawaz Joseph, and the title of my speech, The Obstacle is the Way, actually comes from a popular quote of the same title, The Obstacle is the Way. It means that when you try to achieve a goal and something stops you, you can actually use that obstacle to better achieve that goal. The the official expansion to the quote, the obstacle is the way, goes as the impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way. The reason I picked that quote is because I'm going to talk about how 2020 forced me to change my routine. As you all know, the year 2020 has been nothing but obstacles. Luckily for me, it's only been to my routine. Um, One of the things I've perfected pre 2020 was my fitness routine. I have a jiu-jitsu gym. I go to the Planet Fitness gym next to NIST, and my house is also a 5 minutes drive from NIST. I'm pretty sure everything relating to my workout is in a 10-mile radius. It's so convenient. I can actually go on Wednesdays. I usually go to the jiu-jitsu gym for work out and do jiu-jitsu. It's that convenient, and my boss doesn't have a problem with it. But since 2020 started, the first thing that went was my workplace. You couldn't really go to work anymore, and my gym also went after that. You couldn't go to the gym anymore because everything was locked down. And I don't know if you know anything about jujitsu, but you're pretty much grappling each other. I've had people sweat or drip down my ear. It's very close contact. So it's not pandemic friendly at all. So I pretty much had to cut that out. Unfortunately, too, I was training for a tournament. It was going to be my first tournament, and I had to stop that. But again, it's just an inconvenience. And since I work all day from home, I pretty much stay at home all the time. I had to find a new way to get in shape. At Planet Fitness, I would usually alternate between cardio and weights, but now I just alternate between staying home and staying home. And one thing I looked into building a home gym. I've never done it before, and it just seems daunting to have all those equipments. And the first thing and and the first thing I saw that I could just buy and work out with was a kettlebell. I was able to get two kettlebells and a book, this book actually. I hope you guys can see that. Give me a second. Can you guys see that? Yeah. It's called the Ultimate Kettlebell Workbook. And I was actually lucky because I think everyone had the same idea as me. After I bought it, I couldn't get it was sold out. Now they've restocked, but it was sold out almost like the toilet paper. I know there was like a huge toilet paper shortage like around May-ish. So it was kind of like that. Everyone who had it was price gouging. You was like $75 for something I paid $30 for. I'm like, and that was pre shipping. I'm like, okay, I'll just wait to buy more kettlebells. But so far so good. It's very space efficient. And one thing I found about it is you have a full body workout. If even if you do something with your arms, at almost all the time you're using your core. While let's say equipments in the gym usually they isolate muscle groups better. But I would say this the kettlebells. It's if you guys can see here, they usually work out everything. If you lift it up, you work in your legs. You're supposed to use your left to lift. You work out your core and you work out your arm at the same time. Also, the book I bought on it, which I used to find out what workouts to use, it gave a little bit of a history on kettlebells, just as a preface. They originated in Russia. They were called Gyrya, and they were used as a unit of measurement, which is kind of coincidental since I work in NIST and all we do is also about measurements. But the idea is they were about 35 pounds, and farmers would kind of weigh their crops against the kettlebells, and that's how they did commerce in the 1700s. But someone got the idea is like, oh wait, this thing is heavy. Let me just kind of move it around and let me get a workout on it. And I guess around a couple of hundred years later, I'm doing the same thing, and I found it to be really helpful. I I work out only 3 times a week, and this book itself I really recommend it. But I work out 3 times a week, and I find that my fitness has actually gone up rather than one. My fitness is better. I kind of condense all my workout to basically 3 days and just I work out my whole body when I'm doing that, when I'm doing these exercises. And there are also levels of intensity to the exercise. And I find that there's a pretty good incline. Like after a couple of months, I'm really ready to go up to the next level of exercise. So I'm so comfortable with this new routine. I've actually quit my gym. I know this Planet Fitness reopened with the new guidelines, like, hey, we clean more, we separate our machines more. But right now, instead of going to the gym and showering, I can just work out here and shower, and which honestly is very underrated. I didn't know I would like it until like I shower by myself again. Usually when I go to a gym, I shower with other people, but I mean I'm okay with that. I'm a grown up, but I definitely like showering in my place. And yes, I would say the coronavirus forcing me to change my workout plan actually made me find a better way that I want to work out. And while I still miss jujitsu, and it's something I would definitely go back to once all this stuff calms down, I find that my working out has changed for the better, and I'm going to stick to it for a while. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Nice to chat with you all again. Especially thank you to Fawaz for your speech today, which was about overcoming the obstacles that are in the way. So specifically, you brought up the obstacle of not being able to maintain your fitness routine through the current pandemic, not being able to actually go into the gym and work out, or not being able to actually do jujitsu, which you have been practicing for quite some time. And you discussed the ways of overcoming that and how you became enlightened and figured out a way to create an at-home fitness routine which actually fit your schedule. And you found out that it even works better for you. So I wanted to start out by highlighting some of the great things that you did. One is that I think the way you introduced it by bringing in the speech with a quote about how the obstacle is in the way and how it can be overcome. I think that was good, and it got the audience in tune with where you were trying to go with your speech. So it was I think that was a very solid intro. You also sort of discussed your path, and I think it was a logical path, of you started with the issues that were at hand. You built up the background of what the pandemic was and how it caused you to not be able to go in and work out at the gyms, and how it caused you not be able to, conduct jujitsu. So those were sort of the first major losses for you in terms of having to go virtual. And then also liked how you then pivoted and went into the solution that you found. So after sort of going through each of these, not being able to work out at the gym, not being able to conduct or to perform jujitsu, you had to figure out a solution. And by figuring, and your sort of solution to the problem was to build your at-home gym. You found that it was difficult to do so, but at the end you did found a tool called the Kettlebell, which allowed you to then, conduct your fitness routine. So I thought that was good. The path that your speech went down made sense and was logical. One thing that I would recommend for improving your speech in the future is that you use props, which I think was great. One thing that I think would be useful, especially in a virtual environment, is to maybe have the props in the background, like sitting and already shown that you can quickly turn around and point to it, or quickly pivot and see it, or pull it. So it's already there. It's quick movement. And then another thing I think that you can leverage for improving your speech in the future, and this is based around virtual presentations, is to be more aware of yourself virtually. Sometimes you didn't really look directly at the screen. You would be looking around your room, or you would be sort of moving back and forth. If you ever see me speak, I go like this all the time. So I think you were doing something similar to that, but you were looking, around the edges of the screen. So I would just recommend being more aware of yourself, of sort of how you look on the screen, how you're presented to others in the audience. And I think that would also help. And then one final thing is that although I think the history of the kettlebell added value, I think it distracted a little bit from the message of how you were overcoming the obstacle that was in your way. And so I think if you would have spent a little bit more time on discussing more of what was taken away from you. I know you're not able to walk anymore, and you walked a lot. And then more of the benefits that you've received from your at-home routine. I think that would have focused your speech a little bit more. But in the end, I think you had an excellent speech. It was very informative. It was very engaging. And the pace and your comfortability with speaking has improved as it does every single speech. So well done, Fawaz. Look forward to hearing more from you. Thank you.